or where you come from or who you know or how much money you have or the color of your skin or where you worship or who you love that you can make it in the United States of America. And that is what we don't want to lose in all of this as he tries to fracture our country. Because I figure when you are given opportunity from someone, whether it's a parent or a grandparent, a teacher, someone you work with, you do not go into the world with a sense of entitlement. You go into the world with a sense of obligation. An obligation to lift people up instead of shutting them down. An obligation to bring people with you instead of hoarding it to yourself. I was reading the other day, because again, when we sit in that Senate chamber, you think a lot about founding fathers, you think about past presidents, and when I got home, I was reading a book on leadership by Doris Kearns Goodwin. And it was about how all these different presidents, and that one of the things they had most in common was resilience. It was resilience, not how they did when times were good in their lives, but how they did when times were bad. And as I thought about it, I remembered one of the presidents she talked about was FDR. And there's a story about FDR that when he died, they put his body on a train and it went across the country. And people stood in droves by the railroad tracks. And this reporter was standing next to a guy, regular guy with his hat in his hand, and he was sobbing. And the reporter looks at the guy and he says to him, "Sir, did you know President Roosevelt?" And the guy says, "No. I didn't know President Roosevelt, but he knew me. He knew me." That is leadership. That is empathy. That is something that we don't have in the White House right now. Someone that cares and understands about the lives of everyday Americans. And that is the case that we're going to make. Along with that, an optimistic economic agenda for this country. Somehow in 2016, you know that got lost. No one had run against someone like Donald Trump before. He was going down every rabbit hole. We were all going down every rabbit hole. But this time, we got his number. And we are going to focus on an optimistic economic agenda for this country. That means meeting the challenges of everyday people. That means meeting the challenge of healthcare. And you all know that's been debated a lot on the debate stage. My position is actually pretty practical. I don't like to blow things up that people like. I like to make them better. And so right now, the Affordable Care Act is nearly 10 points more popular than the President of the United States. We should be rolling it out. I think we should be building on it with a nonprofit public option by taking on the pharmaceutical companies. And I lead nearly every bill when it comes to taking on the pharmaceutical companies, from unleashing the power of our seniors to negotiate better prices, getting rid of that ban that pharma put in law that doesn't allow that to happen, bringing in less expensive drugs from other countries. In Minnesota, we can see Canada from our porch, and I see those less expensive drugs. That is a bill that I have done for years. It's been bipartisan. Latest attempt we did was at midnight. Klobuchar, Sanders, Bernie, and I put it on the floor. We got 14 Republican votes at midnight. They might have been tired. I don't know, but we did that. I can get that done.